So this film did challenge me, but not in the ways that I like or prefer to be challenged, you know?
Okay, it wasn't pushing your buttons in terms of it was saying all the right things and it was making you uncomfortable. Like, oh, this is me.
It
This is
was,
a movie that I can relate to.
well, no.
Right. It was the opposite of
Right.
that.
No.
Sure.
Yeah. No. Because look, all I could hear in my head while watching this was one question over and over and over. And that is a one-word question. And that is why? Why? You know, why Robert De Niro in both leading roles? Why is everyone in this movie older than me? Why is this story being told? Why was this movie made? Why didn't they spend 110 million and make another vampire movie?
Sure.
I mean, why did I have pasta for lunch when I really wanted a grilled cheese sandwich and a lot of butter on the bread and drippy Gruyere cheese? And why didn't the Police make one more album? I mean, did Sting really feel that stifled creatively? Oh, wait, I'm at a movie. I mean, that's what's going through my head. Anything other than what's in front of me, because what was in front of me just made me wonder why.
Sure.
That's all.
It sounds like, Joe, that you
my
and I
God.
had similar
Okay, then.
movie-going experiences when it comes to the Alto Nights.
Wouldn't be the first time. So by God, Ryan, we're here and we're going to find the pearls, even though we're searching for them in the desert when it comes to this movie.
They're somewhere.
So let's get this kick-started with a question for you,
Oh, boy.
Ryan. Okay.
Okay.
So, Ryan, why did Barry Levinson make this movie? Wait, sorry, wrong question.
That's honestly a good question. That's the
damn
only
good
question that matters.
110 million.
They're gonna see
Look,
not even a quarter of that.
no.
They're not gonna make a quarter of that.
I think there were about 7 of us in the cinema.
Yeah, I had about 4.
And I have a confession to make, Father Ryan.
Uh-oh.
I didn't stay until the end.
Wow.
I
Man,
can't
is that
remember-
a first on this podcast?
On this podcast, absolutely for sure.
Wow. I should have done it because
mean,
there was
he was
3 or 4 times that I thought I was like, I should just get out of here.
Well, one of the Robert De Niro's was with his plants, and the other Robert De Niro was in prison. And I'm like, what more are you going to talk about? And he's waxing poetically about his childhood friend. It's like, what? Stop.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it for a second.
No, there was a lot of things about
Oh,
this
my
movie
goodness.
that had me asking questions and had me looking for the exit.
Okay, well, exactly. And I don't blame you. Yeah, that was one of the other questions. Where's the exit?
Yeah.
I wonder, where did I park? How can I get out of here really quickly?
Yeah, how fast
God,
can I get
I'm
to my
hungry
car?
again. Yeah, I still want that grilled cheese. Anyway, Ryan, I'm going to ask you a serious question because I did pull a theme out of this movie that we
Okay.
can work with.
I love it.
Okay?
Yeah. A diamond in the rough.
Exactly. So rough. So I never bought the friendship in this movie for a second.
Yeah.
And so how am I supposed to be invested in something that was completely unbelievable and didn't make me care?
Yeah.
And because there was nothing that was terribly personal about this movie for either Robert De Niro character. They didn't really get into any kind of depth with either one of them.
No.
So I couldn't care less about
No.
their dynamic.
No. Yeah. There was no part of me that wanted to see their friendship survive, that wanted to, oh no, he's betraying him. There wasn't enough meat on the bone for me
No.
to even chew.
No, they had a shared past, and that's all there was to it.
That's it. And they were both in the business of crime.
Yeah.
That was their shared interest, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
But back to, I know we got
Please.
ahead of ourselves
Yes,
there.
we did.
Back to what we said.
But good
I
to
couldn't
hear.
relate to this movie in that way because it's so different. I just didn't feel anything for either De Niro.
Me either. And here's something for movie makers out there who are thinking they're gonna, I don't know, save on their budget by having one actor do 2 roles, although I doubt it, particularly when it's De Niro, unless you want to give him production credits.
Sure.
You're gonna have an issue with chemistry. Because when you have one actor acting to, I don't know what, a stand-in, a green screen, whatever, to have some real chemistry together is going to be, let me just tell you this right now, an impossibility.
Yeah.
It won't work.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try if you want. But it was Irwin Winkler's decision to do this. He was one of the producers. And
What was the decision behind
well,
that?
I
wonder
just
what.
caught that De Niro said this on one of the late night interviews, just that it was Irwin Winkler's decision that, hey, why don't you play both roles? Because he thought he'd be great in both. Well, yeah, I don't know. He might have been great in one potentially, but I didn't even think he was.
Yeah, which is weird to say because it's De Niro.
Well,
It's a powerhouse titan, like we said.
absolute powerhouse, and it felt like both of them were dialed in. He dialed them in. He phoned them in. No
Again,
doubt,
like you
but-
said, there's so much to. I mean, we took, that's where we met. We took an acting class together, Meisner, and it's the technique is to work off your scene partner,
right?
work off what they're giving you.
That's
if they're
right.
giving you anger, react with anger. You
Right.
don't.
Right.
It doesn't come out of left field. Why are you angry? The person you're
Yep.
talking to is not. It has to
Yep.
feel authentic and genuine. That's the whole reasoning behind it. And this, you're right. If you're just acting against a blank wall and a stand-in that somebody's not even moving their lips,
Absolutely.
that's hard.
Well,
How can you
it's very
create?
hard.
You're like manufacturing
That's
chemistry.
right. Well, and one of the other parts of Meisner that I really appreciate, and people out there might be listening, cringing, Meisner, whatever. It's just, it is a technique, and it's
Yeah.
something that Ryan and I learned together. One of the great things about it is that if you're really doing it, you're not watching acting.
Yeah, you're not.
You're
You're
watching
being.
two people relating.
Yeah,
You're watching two people being.
yeah.
And I could not get over the fact that this is Robert De Niro twice, and he's acting in both roles.
It just doesn't make sense. It almost felt like a. And this is the last thing we'll say because I know we don't.
We have
listen-
friendship stuff to talk about.
Yes. It just felt like it might have been one of those scenarios that's almost like a ploy for praise or an award. Like, oh, two mob bosses, why don't you play both of them? How genius would it be? How revered will you be if you knock it out? If you're the man who brought to life.
That makes a ton of sense to me. I also think that it could be the suggestion of someone who doesn't mind if they lose the money.
Oof.
Maybe.
Warner Brothers, so surprising. I like Warner Brothers. I think they do a really
me
good
too.
job.
Me too. But it was during the movie that I looked up the budget of this thing, because I thought, how much are they spending on this? Something that feels contrived and tired, and some critics love this. I did not, but I just
Safe to say, I didn't either.
But so this movie wasn't about a guy who's a potential best buddy, but it's just how this movie was positioned.
Sure.
So it was supposedly one of the cornerstones, I believe, of this story.
Well,
That was the intention.
it was
Anyway.
a stone. I don't know if it was a corner one, but it was a stone.
Well, then